Oh, you're right, guys. Sat here between showers, so this could be a quick intro. This is it, the video you've been waiting for. It's been 8 months in the making, sort of. We started the quest for the highest yield from the single seed potato, and the heaviest single seed potato is back in March time, and it's now the 1st of November. All the results are in. We've had a few more entrants declare their weights this year, but the overall yield is up by around about 20%. Ooh. And once again, thank you so much to Jamieson Brothers for supplying the Condor potatoes for this year's challenge. Their seed catalogue is already out, so have a quick look. They got some fantastic spuds up there. Sorry, but the video is rather long, so I've tried to cut down on the harvesting bit and concentrate a little bit more on the preparation work. And because I've cut it down a little bit, check out the individual channels' reveals. They're all on the playlist, and I'll do as many as I can in the description down below. A bit awkward to get these handles to work, but I'll get there, don't worry, I'll get there. I'll do a scrolling text at the end with the heaviest potato and the yields in order. And stay tuned for the outtakes, there's a little bit of a funny bit there.
One seed potato shipped my way from Digwell Green Fingers, what a day. Jamieson Brothers sent it through. Now it's up to me and up to you.
One tiny spot, it's all I need to grow a crop, fulfill the deed.
One seed, one dream, let's grow them tall. One seed to rule them all. Dig it deep, watch it rise. 1,000 spuds from humble size. Planted down in earth their bed. Dreams of fries dance in my head. Sun and time to wait. This little seed could make me great.
From one comes many, so they say. Potato power leads the way.
One seed, one dream, let's grow them tall. And rule them all. Dig it deep, watch it rise. 1,000 spuds from humble size. One seed, one dream, let's grow them tall. One seed to rule them all. Dig it deep, watch it rise. 1,000 spuds from humble size. One seed, one dream, let's grow them tall. One seed to rule them all. Dig it deep, watch it rise. 1,000 spuds from humble
Precision stuff, eh? One, two, three.
and I will be back tomorrow to pot Galinda on. I think that's the largest one so far. So I'm going to pot these on today. I don't want to leave them too long in a small pot. Again, definitely time to pot on. Be very careful. Let's have a look what we've got. Big piece of potato there, and not a bad piece of potato there. So these will be potted on now. Still into litre pots, but we have got 8 chits, 8 pieces of Galinda.
Done really well. It's chitted well. There's a lot of little bits that I will cut up, and then I'm going to part them across these 2 bags. This is what compost that I used for potatoes last year with some. This is a spare you had from your indoor plants, wasn't it?
Yes.
And then over the winter we've just shoved like kitchen scraps in there. That's what will keep me going. It's a guinea pig poo. So I'm going to try and cut it up and not cut my finger off. I don't know where to start. Here. So this piece has just like a few little bits in, so I thought I'd just group them together. So there's that. And oh, people are gonna be so mad because it probably looks like I'm gonna cut my finger off. There's another one, and I've been on a really large piece with just one chip on. Okay, I didn't do that very evenly. I don't know if that makes any difference. So I've got 7 pieces. So there's 1. There's 2. Right. And then that's it. I plant it, and hopefully they do well.
Right guys, I think there's about 6 sides on this. See what we can take off. It looks like there's an eye underneath. So I'll take that one off. Big green inside, but it doesn't matter. And we've got 1 here. There's 2 there actually. Nothing in that. So basically I've got 7 buds. Could be 2 or even 3 shoots coming up, which will be divided later. So basically I'm not messing around. These have had enough time and they show no promise of pushing out. I'm planting straight away, eyes up. Don't forget the labels. Let's have one more to plant, and then the 7 there. I'll probably end up with about 10 shoots. I've got 9 to plant. I'm quite happy with that actually. Let's see what the roots are like. Well, they're just starting to show through. Straight in. These pots are only slightly bigger than the flower pots everybody's been getting from supermarkets. That's it. And labelled. Planted, watered, and labelled. Now we've got to let them grow, see what we get.
And some have got chips on it, some look like they might get chips on it. This has little chips on it. I think these have chips on it. I'm not sure. I've never really cut a potato up before to grow it like this. So this is just my trial, and I'll show you I'm going to plant it in. I thought it'll be throw some soil in it, recycle it, and see what happens. Then I put a few holes in the bottom, throw some compost in the bag, throw some potato fertilizer and some chicken pellets, and leave it to see how much potatoes go in the bag. This is what I'm going to put in the compost when I'm planting the potatoes. There's potato and vegetable feed and the chicken manure. And I'm trying to now put 2 bags of compost in, and then I'm going to show you when I'm going to put the potatoes in. And then I'll get a couple of more bags of compost and I'll put it on top once the shoots start coming up. This is how I'm going to plant the potatoes. 3 at the top of the bag, 1 in the middle, and 3 at the bottom.
Now I've seen people putting theirs in silver cups, gold cups, nothing so crude for Isaiah, meet Isaiah, and he's called Isaiah because that eye's higher than the rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chits. Now some of these are going to be quite easy to sort out. There's 2 there, so if I cut there, yeah, just make sure there's no more. I've got to say they're quite green inside. There's 2 there. Oh, this is the hard bit. Well, it's not hard. It's one of the easiest ones I've ever done, actually. There we are. And I'm going to leave that one. That's got 3 on there. Oh, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Faint art, never did whatever, you know. There we are. So, going to give that a quick spritz of the old Rutilizer. Okay, clover multi-purpose for this. No amendments to start off with because these will be moved on very, very quickly. Okay. Oops. A mess. Well, you get the drift. I'll bring you back when I've totally finished. Well, there we are. 8 of them. And if you're wondering why I haven't let the cut edges callus over, when we're slicing the plant, when it's got 2 or 3 stems, we don't let it callus over then, do we? So why do it now? Right, let's do this one, number 3. Let's see what it's like. What I will do with the other ones actually is I'll have a fertile around to see if I might have a chance of a big spud. That's better. At least that one's gone through the 2 halves, look. Right, I'm going to put that back in there. I'm going to cut these as well. And what I'm going to do with these, I'm going to put these straight into the ground at the front. Okay, my change of plan idea is I'm going to grow these 2 in individual pots to try and get a big one. A big one. There we are. Give those good watering and then we're done for the day.
And another one here. These can sit on the side here and dry out. And all that I've done for now is got these cell trays filled with multi-purpose compost, and I've just stuck each piece into the compost and just left the top showing, just because I don't want these to rot. I'm going to be giving the roots a dusting of mycorrhizal as we go. Right, so I can see there's quite a lot of roots on this, so I'm going to try and do this as cleanly as possible. Got a nice sharp knife. We've just got through the potato there. Just really hope this works, because somebody needs to do something about Robert and his 26 plants. And just cut that on a 45-degree angle. Snip that leaf off there. So that is what we're ending up with, and this is where we're hoping that the roots are going to start to grow. And this trick I learnt from Nick the gardener, but if you push it down on the edge of the pot, there's less chance of this edge drying out, and you can see if it starts to shoot roots, you'll see it along the edge of the pot. And is what you can do is just clip the tops of these leaves. There's plenty of moisture in here, humidity and moisture on the leaves, because that is where they will be uptaking their water from now, as they don't have roots, so they won't be taking any moisture from the bottom here. They'll take it all in from the top. So I'll just leave that half open and plonk that there for now. We've got 10 30-litre containers here, and I'm going to be putting 2 in each, except for 3, which are going to be getting 1 in each. And then we have 3 of the shopping baskets, and we're going to put 2 in each of those. I have already planted out another tower with the first lot of cuttings and another tower with the 4 original plants. As you can see there, we've got a little potato forming and just a set of roots coming off the bottom of that. So they've just had farmyard manure, spent compost and some clover added on top. But we had the 4 original plants, and I've added another one of the cuttings.
So I've got all my knives out that I've got, and yeah, I'm going to figure out which one I'm going to use to make one swift cut and cut the potato a lot up. Right now, so let's see now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do is. So there you are, he's all marked up. I've counted 9 and possibly a 10th, so I'll see how I go. A bit neat, that 7. Here goes nothing. That's a good sit. Yeah, right. Mess of this. There's 9, and that's the 10th. So let's see whether this t-shirt has any difference on the potatoes. So wish me luck. Wish the potato a lot, a bit of luck as well. We've now got 7 up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that one's just putting a small shoot up right there. So that's 7. So I'm just waiting for 3 more to come up. So there we have it. We've got 10 plants. Single. How many is in there? 2 in that one. 1 in that one. One on that one on that one. 3 by the looks of it. 3. Oh, be careful, I'll have 2 if I'm not careful. Right, I've got 1, 1 and 1. So I've got these 2 beds here. So I've just decided I'm going they're starting to look a little bit sippered, so it's about time anyway that they were put in the ground. I'm not going to split them, I'm just going to put them in. And I think at a later stage I'll take my cuttings off that. 10 plants from 1 potato, single seed potato challenge. It's now on.
Single seed potato challenge.
Right then, and have you named your potatoes? Let's start with Olivia. What's your potato called?
Potatoes.
Potato? What's yours called, Rowan? How about roasty? No one's got roasty yet. Roast potato. And what's Kyra's called? Bob.
So like that too.
Yeah, so put them in the bag then.
Fine, spiders like that.
With some help.
Bit harder, that's it. You know they're halfway through.
It's so hard.
There we are. There we are.
Good job.
Okay then, and put them into your bag. Okay, Olivia? Yeah, put the flat bits downwards then, that's right, and we'll top it up in a minute.
So come sit with me. I'll put it on my hand.
Yeah. Straight through, mate. Go on then. Push, push, push. You're nearly there, nearly there.
Go on. Do some help. Good job, that's it.
That's it, he's there.
It's not a very good knife.
A little bit more.
Sorry. You want me to touch your spider?
You can snap that bit off, that'll be alright. In your bag then, mate. Put them in gently. Don't drop them in this time. You're getting older now. Good dog barking well, isn't he?
There she is. Or he, whatever. Here we are at Womble Corner, ready to plant our little Spudnik. We've got 5 pieces. So here we go. Get on with it, James. So he's prepped the pot, fresh compost and some feed and that, haven't you?
Yeah, fish, blood and bone.
Fish, blood and bone. So our little Spudnik has gone in the end of March.
All planted.
Yeah.
Full.
Beautiful, and he's in. Here we are at WC. Just earthing up little Spudnik for the SSPC 2025 challenge. That's been set by Digwell Greenfingers. Growing lovely. Had 5 chits off him and 5 are growing, so we're quite happy with that. We've just put him straight outside again, a bit earlier this year than we were last, weren't we?
Yes.
But we just put it, cut it into 5 pieces and put it straight outside. We did cover it though, didn't we?
It's been covered with glass.
Just covered with glass at first, which we've now taken off.
Got a drink now. I can do something with this and we can actually get some decent potatoes from this. It's looking a bit worse for wear now, to be honest. It's chitted. It's got plenty of little chits on there, and I think I've probably got around 7 or so. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe. Shaky hands with a scalpel, probably not great. Right, so we'll make the first incisions. It actually looks quite funny, almost like a little dinosaur. So that leaves that one there. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, potentially 7. The thing about planting potato when we've just cut it is that that moisture, potentially, if you were to plant them now, you can end up with the actual potato rotting. So that I don't want to do that. I want to try and keep these alive. Start as we would normally, bit of compost. So this is the Jack's Magic. Don't want to go too mad with this, just a bit. I'm making a right old mess. Just as long as I don't get it in my coffee, I'll be fine. So then we want a little bit of the potato fertilizer. Again, not much, a bit of a handful. And what we'll also try is a little bit of the blood, fish and bone. And again, I don't really need a great deal of this. And then we've got the one with the smallest chit. We'll put that in. And then a little bit more to cover it. I'm not going to fill these to the brim. So that's the last piece. So I have 7 chits, which means I've got 7 pots of potatoes, all nicely starting, hopefully to grow. I need to pot these on into these nice big 50-litre pots. But as it stands at the moment, I don't hold much hope for my yield this year. So again, superphosphate did really well last year for the single seed potato challenge. And I think this year again, will probably be okay. Some of the other potatoes I've done this year, I've put superphosphate in with them, and they have grown really, really well. And then the other thing I can put in with these is a bit of potato fertilizer, if I can ever get the lid off. Whatever I get will be nice, will be tasty, hopefully. I've got at least got some roots there. I'm not sure whether there's much in the way of potatoes growing yet. So that is one of the pots all made up.
And then I've got that one, which is 1 piece. There's Katie 1. I'm going to give them a little covering. Katie 2. So I'm looking like I've got possibly 1, 2, 3 plants that are singular. There is 1, that one's got 2, this one's possibly got 4, that one has got 2, and this one a possibility of 2, if I can separate it. Not a bad root structure at all, but in you go there, Katie 7. Actually, yes, potato in there, and potato in there. I'll just give these a drink from the bottom. I'll leave them 20 minutes or so. There's 7 that'll be going out in bed today. I've got 2 there that I want to split. Katie 8. Lovely roots on it, mind. Right. So Steve, that is Katie out. 3.
Okay, so I've marked my potato off into sections. I think I've got maybe 5 if I count that little chit there. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll give this a go and we'll see what we get. So there you go, there's the 5 pieces I've got, and I've been sitting for a few days just drying off, having the surfaces dry off. So now it's time to start. I'm going to put them on now. So put the chits in with the chip facing up the way. I've no idea how many potatoes I'm going to get from these 5 chits. But that's part of the fun. That's all 5 of them sitting with the chits pointing up the way. And all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to, oops, I'm just going to fill them up. So this is the compost that I've been growing. Well, I say growing, I'm making at the allotment. And to be quite honest, if I can keep making compost as good as this, I don't see any point of buying commercial compost ever again. There you go, single seed potato challenge 2025.
Right, single seed potato challenge 2025. It's arrived. Tell the truth, it arrived a couple of days ago, but not had a chance to actually open it. So let's have a look at it together. Let's see what's in here. Right, now let's see if we can get it a bit closer here. So looks like a reddish potato. Now we have got a fair few chits in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe 7 or 8, possibly 8 on that one.
Why, yes, I am drawing lines on a wrinkly old potato. But don't worry, I've not lost the plot. I'm being strategic. That's because I'm taking part in Digwell Greenfinger's Single Seed Potato Challenge this year, and this little baby has been sat on my windowsill for the last 6 weeks or so, chitting away and getting these lovely roots. So what I've done now is marked out the strongest chits, of which I have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to chop it up and plant it. 1. And then across this line for that middle one. 2. And then a bit more careful because I need to go right between these 2 here. 4. And I'm also going to add some blood, fish and bone. And then all we're going to do is pop the spuds in. So there's our big one, we'll pop that in the biggest pot. Give them a drink and they will be well on their way.
has a spot of rot on it. So I don't know if you can see that. That is a soft spot, very squidgy area. So I think that might be rot. For Samwise. So this is Sam. As you can see, that's that dodgy spot I was talking to you about, which is very soft. As you can see, some chits have grown. I'm going to mark him off now and cut him up to be potted. I would normally leave them longer, so they're about that size, the chits, but because of this bruisey bit, I want to cut it up earlier than I expected. And then I have a very full really close together, so I might plant and then divide. I think that is going to be 1, 5, 6. Now last year I think the chits I planted were around that kind of size and they did really well, so that's not worrying me. For the pots, all this is some compost that was laying around. It's just leftover compost from planting up the blueberries, which is an acidic soil, so I'm hoping it's not too acidic. We will see if they grow or not. And I've mixed in some bone meal, as it says root builder, so I'm hoping that will help, because this was Sam for Samwise, so you know we could have Legolas and Gimli and Aragorn, yeah, and Boromir, and you got Merry, Pippin, Frodo, Gandalf. So I've just brought my potatoes back outside to be watered. It's been a week since I've put them in these pots. So let's see how they're doing. So you can see there's a little growth on that one. There's a tiny bit of growth on this one. Watch this space. Let's see how well they get on, shall we?
Oakley dokley, I am brandishing my hori hori actually, because that's all I have out here. I'm sure it'll be fine. And you should be able to see there's a number of chits here. Just one chit on this. And that will give me, ooh, we've got a little chit there actually. That might be worth trying to do something with. And then we've got one there. So I'm going to half this. So we've got that one and that one, so that's maybe 3. Then we've got, that's an easy one there. Five. There. So then we've got 6 and 7. I'm going to pop these just into the shed there, let them dry off, and then tomorrow I will pop these into pots. And what I'm going to do now is put each piece in one of these pots, cover it up, pop them in the polytunnel and wait on them to grow. Covering it up. And I'll do that for the other 6 pieces. That's it done. Fingers crossed that we get plants from each of these pots. It would be fantastic. So the plants go from this, which is the smallest, to this, which is the largest. They have been in these pots far too long. Let me just show you. In fact, it's very dry as well, but good root system. So let's get these in the pots, give them a water, and hopefully they will grow on and give us some potatoes. That's 6 pots for the single seed potato challenge.
Now the task that I have is to try and divide this potato
in such a manner that I get as many pieces of potato with as many chits as possible. Not exactly the neatest, but I have managed to divide it up into little areas so that each piece would have a chit on it. So I now have to use some surgical precision to make these cuts exactly where I need them to be. And what I'll do, I will let these pieces dry and form a skin or cure, and then that should take a couple of days, and then I'm going to pop them on into some compost, and hopefully they'll start to shoot. They've formed a skin, they've dried out or cured, and they all have a chit on the top, and all I'm going to do is pop them into a pot of multi-purpose compost that's been sifted. There's a little dash of perlite in there, and I'm just going to pop them on the top like that, if you can see that there. He's going to sit there. I'm going to give him a light covering of the compost, very light, and there he is. He's just sitting in there, just under the surface, and hopefully in not too many days we'll start to see him breaking the surface, and that chip will be growing on its way to making a huge potato, or part of some potatoes that are going to give me a huge weight.
Hey guys, welcome to the single potato challenge. So yeah, I messed up the first video. It didn't focus, so I have to do it now. As you can see, they've been growing. So let's just put this one in first. I think that's deep enough, I think. I need to get some compost. Now I can refill it properly there. That'll do for now though. Let's just put one of these in for now. Because I ain't got much, I'm using soil at the moment mostly. Doing this with one hand now, guys, so yeah, that's and then I've just got to get some more for this. So that's one too. Looks kind of healthy. That was the first one to grow, and obviously I missed it on the first video when I was cutting it. Because I didn't realise, yeah, it was nice and sunny in there. The camera just won't focus at all, so.
So I just watched Duncan's video, what he uploaded like 2 weeks ago, and I don't know how I missed it, but just watched it, and he had to cut these up, and he got 10 chips out of it, or 10 pieces, and leave these 2 bits to dry overnight, and I'll get them in some compost tomorrow. There's quite a few chips on this one, there's about 8 maybe, so I'm just going to pop that in like that. There's only a couple on here, but that one might develop into 3 shoots, so we'll pop that one in there as well. A couple of little shoots there come in, and then there's a couple little shoots there come in. I'll put some compost in here, which is homemade compost mixed with homemade leaf mould and homemade worm castings and a bit of vermiculite. I'm going to put some Q4 root more mycorrhizal fungi in there, hopefully create a nice symbiotic relationship with the roots so they can get more nutrients from the compost. Right, anyway, let's get the Franks into their new homes. In this one, there's 6 little cuttings, which all these have now rooted. I've got some more cuttings on this side, which haven't quite rooted yet. You're probably watching this thinking, oh my God, what's he doing? Yeah, there's one in here, which I did last, which only had 1 root on it. Really got a bit too pot bound in here and a bit leggy. So I want to try and get them buried up to about here if I can. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to do that, but let's give it a go. So 5 around the edge, 1 in the middle, I reckon. Start off at the back here. Can't see no potatoes. Not too bad actually. Not as bad as I thought. Right, that's the first one done then. First 6 even. They're not doing too bad. They're nice and green. You see the nice dark green foliage here and that. So there's definitely plenty of feed in there and that. I've been a bit worried because it hasn't rained since I last came up and watered them, but they don't seem to be struggling or drooping or anything. So these are the other cuttings here. They're doing pretty well as well actually. Once again, these have got little flower buds on, which I'm picking out, so all the energy will go into creating the tubers, not flowers.
I've never done it before. I've watched a few videos and basically I've marked out the potato, counted up the number of chits, and we've got to cut it and separate all the chits and then plant them individually. This is more me. Second biggest production saw made, 36-inch guide bar. Let's chop this baby up. Right, so we've got 8. I'll let these harden off and just skin over for a couple of days, and then we'll pot them up. First of all, I consider myself very lucky to be here, or be still in the challenge, because I made a very stupid mistake right at the beginning. When I cut the potato up, separating out the chits, I stupidly left them here in the greenhouse, and dry out and shrivel up. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. They were like crisps. I then panicked. I know, not like me, but I did. And what I did, I got a plastic cup, filled it with water, chucked them, all the potatoes, in the cup of water, and left them for 24 hours to see if they'll revitalize a little bit. And luckily, most of them did. Out of the 8 chits that I had originally. I got 6 here, and we lost 2. Right, do I just cut it in half, or do I pull some of the soil off the roots? I just cut it in half, innit? Oh, I think you got lucky.
He looks a bit like a crazy pagan slab. I've got several chits, a few large, small, and I've got 2-3 clusters of chits. So I don't really know the best way to do it. And I think this might be a little bit too big for the job. Right, that's number 1. Number 8. I don't know. I'll put that there as number 9, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, my chits have been drying now overnight. If you can see on there that they have dried up, they've formed a nice skin. Make sure the chit is up. Right, that's those planted up. So I'll give these a drop of rainwater when I go into the greenhouse, but each one will have their own little dome and we'll see what happens with these, and let's hope they grow like they did last year. These are the first 5 pots I've got which have come on. I've looked at them, they need changing into larger pots. This is just for Jimmy, he keeps asking me what I'm using, and this is Victor Mix. Right, this is the first one. As you can see, it's got 2 shoots there. I'm going to cut that and transplant that into 2. That's got a really good root ball right the way around it. So here we go. And there we are. Some mycorrhizal fungi on it, a bit into the pot. Put that into the pot like that. Top that up. And there you go, it's number 1. I've now transplanted the first 10 potatoes. This is my second lot of cuttings. I've just taken these off the 12 tubs I had planted. These are the last cuttings I'll be taking now. I'm running out of 30 litre pots, so some of these I think will end up in 10 litre flower buckets. Right, this is my last 9 cuttings of my SSPC 2025 challenge. Don't get to be pleased because I'm not taking any more cuttings, and let's just hope these ones grow. Just a quick pan over, and as you can see, this is my SSPC 2025 challenge potatoes. They are growing well.
This is Sir Speedy. He arrived via Royal Mail after a long, arduous journey, but he did chit well. I had 2 very large chits and cut Sir Speedy in half. There were some baby chits coming as well, and then put him to harden off back on his eggy throne. And then on May 11th, he was planted out in a root pouch with a variety of fertilizer yummies.
I hope you're okay. My Sir Speedy cuttings.
So there's 1, I suppose. 2. See there. So if you look at that one, there's 2 tiny chits on that. So I might get 2 out of that, but we'll see. So I'm going to pot these up now. The mix is normal multi-purpose. I've added charge and fish blood and bone. I haven't faffed around showing you all the mixing and that because I know it takes Steve a monumental amount of time to edit and cut these videos. So I'm putting them in 3 litre pots. As you can see, I've already labelled it SSPC 2025. I'm just going to fill them up, chuck them in and hope for the best, really. That's all we can do, I suppose. So I'm just going to poke a big hole in the bottom, get one of the spuds, chit facing up, and pop it in there, cover it over and let it go. There is 2 shoots on this one, you'll probably see them there, but I am going to leave them in the pot as they are. So I don't think for a minute I'm going to win it. So this is taking part really for me, and it's a personal challenge for myself as well because I've not been able to grow decent potatoes.
Yeah, so we've got some roots. Cool stock potatoes, but I know these are decent ones because they come from Jamieson, so fingers crossed we'll get a good yield.
This bottom one off. So that's one. I'm just trying to think the best way of cutting this up. I'm gonna go, because there's a chip here, one here, and one here. So I'm gonna just go right down the middle there for now. Put that to one side and we'll deal with this one. So 2 chits here and some at the top there. Quite a few, there's about 4 chits on here, so I want to try and give as much potato as possible to each one. So I'm just going to carve down from there, and that gives us that little chit on the end, and then that leaves us 3 on here. So we can chop down through there. That's lovely. And we just check these other pieces that we've. That was a chit on there. There's a chit on there. Chit there. Was another one on here? No. So on here, again, we've got 2 that are very close together. So let's try and get a knife down between those. I'm trying to chop that down so we give us this piece of potato a reasonable amount of potato to grow from. So I think that is all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces. So we're down on the plot today and we've got our little bit of potato. I've made up some little pots with some just moist pot and compost. So I'm just going to take each one of these and push that into the soil, making sure that the chit's up the right way. 3, now these are all nicely dried off overnight on the actual end pieces, so they'll all be good to go in the soil. And then what we'll do is we'll grow them on in these pots for the time being until they start to put some leaves on and some shoots on. And then what we'll do is we'll transplant them to the larger pots because we're going to be growing these in buckets.
We've got absolutely loads of chits on theirs. I think I've got one there. There's its bum. There might be one there, or it might be just some damage. There's definitely one there. But this here is going rotten. So let's just get, there's 2 chits here. So let's just go through that. As you can see, it's just possibly got frosted. Let's see if we can take that bit out there. So we're just going to have to rely on the potato finding a way to live. Even though that's rotten, I'm still going to keep it there because, as we know, nature always finds a way. It's a little bit rotten there. Right, there's that. So let's go that way. That's all there is to it. Like I say, there's bits of bad on there, but we'll see. Potatoes, you know, they actually go completely rotten. But that's my slicing up of the hashtag Single Seed Potato Challenge 2025. If you hit that hashtag, it'll take you to everybody that's taking part, and you can see how they do it by taking cuttings. I'm going for the largest potato section in this competition. Single Seed Potato Challenge update. Well, out of everything, it's probably just this section here. I've got 2 come up there, but the original potato had just got some frost damage or something like that.
I got dirt on my hands, dreams in my head. This little seed gonna turn some heads. I water
talk to it too. Come on, Spud, show me what you can do. They say it's just a tuber, but I see something super. Oh, heavy potato, we're reaching for the sky. Heavy potato, gonna make the others cry. From the soil you'll rise so grand, the champion of this land. The neighbors laugh, they call me obsessed, but this competition's my Everest. I built you a mound, gave you the sun. Together we'll show 'em how it's done. It's more than roots and sprouting. It's about believing, doubting. Grow heavy potato, we're reaching for the sky. Heavy potato, gonna make the others cry. From the soil your rise so grand, the champion of this land. Heavy potato, we're reaching for the sky. Heavy potato, gonna make the others cry. Your eyes so grand, the champion of this land.
This is the sum total of my single sweet potato challenge. These two I pulled a few weeks ago and left on the windowsill. They're going to be seed potatoes for next year. That's it. That is it. And we're at an exact, can you see there? 700 grams. And that's obviously not counting the weight of the bowl, although I wish it did. But anyway, we can't all be winners, so thank you ever so much for organising it, and I look forward to trying again next year. See you later.
There's another two. Whoa. That's a big one. That's big, that. It's not as big, but...
Yeah, last year yours just came out all small, didn't they? Last year. They came out like little babies. This year they've come out quite...
It's because these are a big variety, that's why.
Quite big. There's got to be more in there, surely.
So that's it, guys. So we've got, what we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've got 6 more than we did have.
So let's have a look at what we've got. Straight away, considering these have been dead for a while, that's not too bad. Got one there, that's 2. Straight away, not a bad size. Well, something's been bunching on them. That's it.
So I am quite excited about these, primarily because I took cuttings and it worked. But yeehaw, potatoes from cuttings. Well, here is the final harvest from the original Sir Speedy and the cutlings of Sir Speedy. Again, my original seed potato was tiny. It was about this size right here, the original Sir Speedy. I'll try to insert a picture if I can. But I'm not going to win, but I feel like a winner in my own way because I grew successful potatoes and I grew cuttings of potatoes and I got that much food from one potato.
Well, 5 pots of potatoes left. The single seed potato challenge, and we'll see what we've got. Well, definitely not very big. I don't hold out any hopes for any great. We've definitely got more. It's a bit green like, that can be cut off. But I'm going to give them a wash and wear them.
Nice and clean. Doesn't look like the ants have damaged them. Like I said, guys, this is just one potato cut into 4. I haven't took any cuttings, nothing like that. I literally had 4 chits. That's what we got. As you can see, nice looking tatties.
That's a good one. You coming to help, Nelly? Find me a potato. Well, I've got a few in this one. Come and help me, Nelly. Come on. Come and help me. There we go. That's what I've got. I got 28 potatoes from one seed potato, and I'll see if I can measure it with this. Oh, they're so heavy, Steve. I think I'm going to need to get someone to give me a hand here. What's this? Oh,
wow.
The single. Wow. See the size of those. The single seed potato challenge. And we've just left them in, haven't we? They've dried off a while ago. So we was worried that slugs might have eaten them all by now. Nice to beat last year's weight, wouldn't it?
I think we've done that. Well, that's it.
There you go.
All harvested.
1st of October 2025.
Personally, I'm just kicking myself. Why am I kicking myself? I'll tell you why. Because I got blight. Yeah, I got blight. And the reason I'm really kicking myself is because I had the JBA blight guard to try and help prevent this, but I started spraying too late. Yeah, clean, nothing on them. That brownness coming down the stem and that minginess, I think that is the blight. One thing I will say, these have all grown very close to the surface. Should I have planted, well, I'm sure they were planted a bit further down. I'll have to go back and check. That's all right. Right, well, there we go. That's it. I hope you think I've been fair with what I've chucked out anything that I could see that was blemished or rotten. And this is what I've got left.
25th of October, and I'm here to harvest my single seed potato challenge for Steve Digwell. I planted it in May 2025, and today's date is 25th of October. I'll be digging it up and showing you what's been growing in the compost bags. So let me show you. So this is the bag I've been growing my single seed potato in, and currently it looks like this. All the leaves have died off, so I'm going to set you up and we're going to look together to see exactly what's inside the bag. Wow, it's coming up. Oh, look at these potatoes. Wow. Quite nice potatoes coming out. All the potatoes out of that bag that I've gotten. Right here. These are them. Gonna brush off the dirt, pack them, take them home, and weigh them and send in the results.
Amongst this lot, there might be the biggest potato. Fingers crossed, eh? But yeah, we've got 7 pots to look at. So we've got 7 pots of, hopefully, decent potatoes. I've got nothing so far. Nothing at all. Oh my gosh. This is turning into a Rob type. Oh, we've got one. Yay! Okay. 1. Oh, that's more like it. So there's a nice big one there. 2. It actually says that these can sometimes bruise, so I'm going to be careful with putting them into the pot. I have got some. Yay! That's good. That's good. I thought I wasn't going to get any. That's more like it. That's a nice potato. That's a nice big one. That is my... Oh, it's quite heavy. I think there's more this year than last year. I think. Okay. So that's this year's yield from the Single Seed Potato Challenge 2025 Condor. Thank you, Steve Digwell, for again.
I think this is a case of get your hands dirty, Steve. Well, there we are. Not awfully, not very good. Well, I'll get those weighed up. I think that's going to be one of those two will be the heaviest. So, yeah, get them weighed up and, we'll let you know on, the first week of November.
So I have got 7 pots of potatoes to harvest, not tons, but let's just see what sort of yield I get. Okay, so this is sort of average size main crop potato, and so is this. Fairly nice, yeah, nice looking potatoes at a good size. So I'd be happy with that as an ordinary harvest from a 30-litre pot. Okay, here is my harvest from a single seed potato. Heavy.
So there's our bucket here, put the potatoes in. As you see, pull that straight out. There's some nice potatoes in there. We didn't do very well on our potatoes this year, generally. But these ones did really well, so and growed really well. Look at these. Look at that. So that's like 5 potatoes already out of that. And oh, I was going to say there doesn't seem to be a lot in here, but actually some lovely potatoes there. Let's just tip these out gently into there. So there we go. So from a single seed potato, we've got all of these. I have to work out which is the biggest. I think probably maybe this one. Okay, so it's time for the actual weigh-in. Now I've taken the weight of the bag off as the tear weight on this. So I've got all the potatoes in there, and let's give it a go. Lift it up. Okay, here we go. 9.345 kilograms.
$20 cuttings, which ended up 18 of them or 17 of those didn't make it. They actually died not long after planting them. There's one. 2. So I'm just going to dig around these carefully Hope not to break them. That's quite big. Jesus. That's a decent one. More big ones.
Nobody won. This one. That's a nice big one. Very nice. Look at the size of that. That's a good one. You see? Well, there we have it. There's one basket of condor, the larger ones, and the duff ones and the tiny ones went in there.
235 of the
235 grams, okay? 35.09 pounds. What's that in kilo? I can't say, what does it say?
15.92.
15.92 kilos, Steve. Yeah?
Oh, that's a canny one. Every little helps. Do you know that decent one, isn't it, when you compare them? And that's in pounds and ounces. So that's the weight for you, Steve.
Right. I was thinking about emptying it all in here. But, I don't know, look at the size of that bad boy there, look. Oh, that's a good size one. And it's clean. No damp. That's another good one. So it'll be interesting to see who's got the heaviest potato. There's two prizes this year. Oh my god, look at that. I don't know if that's all... That's a weird shaped one, isn't it? Started to sprout a little bit, look. Another good one. And look at that one, that's another strange shaped one as well. That's probably the best harvest I've had off two plants. The size of them, there's going to be quite a bit of weight there. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with them. There's some big ones there. I don't think they're as big as my biggest one from last year. But you never know, something like that. It's a bit weird, isn't it, that one? But yeah, that's my first 4 single seed potatoes harvest. Nice big fat worm there. So, oh yeah, they are they're separate. That may be it in here. Just have a little look round. Not bad at all. Well, I'll get you set up over your one and we'll get them out. So from 12 cuttings, that's what we've got. Some half decent sized potatoes there and some nice smaller ones for me to send out, which is ideal. Can't tell you what the weight is yet. I've got to weigh them when I get home. But possibly similar sort of weight to what I got on the first four.
Nice one. I'm not expecting a great crop because I neglected them a bit and they dried out a few times. Nice big ones in there. Oh, that would have probably been a good one for Malvern if I hadn't just bust it. Some nice potatoes. Ah, bugger. I think that would have got a place in Malvern, that one. Okay, that's my entry for this year's single seed potato challenge. Thanks for Steve for holding it. Whether it'll come anywhere, I don't know. It's taking part that counts. Just see around the scales. Right, that's the weight. 18.510.
Crikey! Look at that. That is a big potato straight off of the bat. Crikey! That... I'm quite pleased with that. Now, to say I'm pleased is an understatement. Remember, all of these potatoes here all started from one single seed potato.
Hi Steve, this is going to be my last potato reveal. These are my last 5 or 6 cuttings. I'm now going to harvest them and then that will be all of my potatoes for this year's competition. That's another nice sized potato. Well, that's the last of my potatoes.
Well, that's it for the main video, guys. Stay tuned for the outtakes in a minute. A little bit funny. And a word of warning to some creators, when you do enable multi-language dubbing, people cannot download your video to watch offline. Or they can. It's 50-50 or whatever, whether you get the video in English. Some of mine come in English, some are in Spanish, and you just check out some of these outtakes. They're quite funny, actually.
Quand je la sortirai du pot dans un instant, je verrai si je peux la diviser et en faire 2 plants. J'espère donc en être aux 8 premiers que je pensais obtenir.
Einzelnen Topfpflanzen. Ich habe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Liter Töpfe und einen 20 Liter Topf.
Y está en una mezcla 50 sobre 50 de mi compost casero y mantillo de hojas. Entonces, no recuerdo que algo malo le haya pasado a la semilla de papa.
Wir müssen sie also nur abschneiden, so haben sie bessere Chancen. Manche Leute haben haufenweise Zettel an ihren. Ich glaube, ich habe einen da. Da ist sein Hintern.
Oh, bem-vindos de volta, meus amigos jardineiros. Bem, chegou a época da temporada. Desafio de batata de semente única 20.125.
Fingers crossed we can get all this done again next year. If any potato suppliers are out there watching, I'd love to hear from you. We need a sponsor. And that's it for this year's Single Seed Potato Challenge. A massive thank you to everyone who took part. It's been brilliant seeing how one little spud can bring so many growers together. I mean, from Scotland to Cornwall and even across to America this year. Congratulations to Nick, who grew the heaviest single spud at close to 1.7 kilograms. A pity this was not ready for Malvern, buddy. And to Robert, who took the crown again for the heaviest overall yield with an incredible 49 kilograms. Send me your details, guys, and the Amazon vouchers will be on their way. And to put the total weight of 275 kilograms into perspective, that's 11 25 kilogram sacks of potatoes, the ones that you see in service stations, etc. Impressive from just 38 little seed potatoes. Special shout out to my grandkids. Those smiles at harvest time is what it's all about, really. Just goes to show it's not about the weight, it's about the fun of growing and sharing it with others. Thanks again to everyone for joining in, and I hope to see even more of you next year. Take care.